Chapter 1 Xia Wuji. You are listening at FameTV.info. Chapter 1 Xia Wuji, the southwestern border of the Great Chu State. Blue Moon City. Summer House. In the large rosewood bathtub, Xia Wuji woke up quietly. Gently inhaled. The nasal cavity is filled with a faint medicinal fragrance. Medicated bath. However, there seems to be a gloomy atmosphere. This gloomy aura instantly cleared his mind, opened his eyes, and his eyes quickly brightened. What comes into view is a beautiful face. Flaming red lips, long hair fluttering, fair skin, and a pair of big, captivating eyes. Woman. Xia Wuji was taken aback. He drank too much with a few classmates last night. It was raining heavily outside. He remembered that he was drunk and fell into the rain. Which brother sent me here? I found a hotel like this for me. It/s just this treatment. It/s too good. There are even women. Looking up along this delicate face, he noticed that the woman/s eyes were very dark. The deep darkness seems to be able to absorb people/s minds and can /t see the pupils at all. No pupils. Xia Wuji/s heart suddenly trembled. He suddenly found that there was no blood on the other party/s snow.white face, and 2 drops of red blood were gradually flowing from the corners of his eyes. There was no good scent on his body, and he was exuding a palpitating cold aura. The woman is smiling, but that smile is creepy. I/ll go, this is not a big treasure. Is a female ghost. The female ghost was wearing a tulle, leaning toward him, revealing a large piece of snow.white on her chest. The delicate face is gradually approaching him, the flaming red lips are slightly parted, the snow.white teeth are exposed, and the red tongue sticks out. Xia Wuji/s scalp went numb for a while, and he didn't care about the snow.white chest. There was hardly any hesitation, and his instinct was a punch. Bang! This straight punch slammed into the face of the female ghost. /s hasty but powerful punch actually smashed the female ghost/s beautiful face into black smoke. The black smoke quickly took shape, and re-formed into the appearance of a beautiful female ghost. Seemed to be angered by Xia Wuji/s unsympathetic punch, the beautiful female ghost was furious, her face was hideous, and she rushed towards him with her fangs and claws. But before he could react, the female ghost slammed into his body and disappeared. Xia Wuji was taken aback. I felt it carefully and found that my body was not abnormal, nor did it feel cold. Could it be just a hallucination? Xia Wuji shook his head and frowned slightly. After drinking this, my mind is easy to lose consciousness, and I even have hallucinations and see a beautiful female ghost. He seriously suspected that he drank fake wine last night. Think about it too, now the sauce and wine are going crazy, and the hotel owner collects it himself, where can you drink the real thing? Turned his head and looked around. Here is an antique room. The dark red sandalwood floor, the exquisite landscape screen, the dark red wooden tables and chairs, and even the lamps placed on the table are antique and emit a soft light. All of this is easy to calm down. Xia Wuji nodded slightly. This decoration style suits his appetite. Stood up from the bucket, completely naked. Stepped out of it in one step, stepped on the soft indigo blue towel on the ground, wiped the water off his feet, and then walked barefoot on the floor of the sandalwood. Although there are not many things on display here, the carvings on each table and chair are extremely delicate, and all of them are made of precious golden enamel. A room with this kind of decoration should cost a lot of money for a night. It/s too extravagant. I/am afraid this is not a 5-star hotel. Xia Wuji was secretly surprised. However, when he walked to a mirror, he was suddenly stunned. Xia Wuji stared blankly at the person in the mirror. A boy who is completely unfamiliar but somehow familiar. He has long black hair, healthy and lustrous complexion, bulging chest muscles, abdominal muscles, and biceps, and smooth lines throughout his body. Especially that face, with sword eyebrows and star eyes, is very handsome. Is this me? He waved his hand, and the handsome man in the mirror also waved his hand. Ah, this that is it really me? How is this possible? At this moment, an unfamiliar memory gate was suddenly opened, and a torrent of memory was inserted into my mind, and it surged quickly. Xia Wuji, a native of Blue Moon City, is 18 years old this year. Father Xia Qinshao was a disciple of the Qingxian Pavilion outer sect of the Shuxian sect in his early years. Due to the limited talent of Ling Zhen, he finally only cultivated to the 7th level of Qi training. He left the sect after Xiuwei had no further progress, returned to Blue Moon City to marry a wife and have children, and began to live in peace. In the past few years, I have bought a lot of property in the city and lived a good life. But he disappeared suddenly a year ago and has not been heard from since. 3 months ago, Blue Moon City began to be haunted, and almost all of them were female ghosts. The haunting was very fierce. All kinds of resentful spirits, fierce ghosts, and evil ghosts filled the city, as if the gates had been opened. Even his mother Lin Ru, a cultivator of the 3rd level of Qi realm, was eaten by evil spirits a month ago and died suddenly. It is said that if the fairies of the fairy pavilion hadn't acted, this Blue Moon City would probably become a ghost land. Even so, there are still many ghosts and monsters in Blue Moon City, and they are inexhaustible. Now there are only 3 people left in the family, he and 2 servants. The 2 servants are brother and sister, one is Xia Hu and the other is Chuyue. Chuyue was also haunted by evil spirits a few days ago and has not woken up yet. After a long while, Xia Wuji burst out with a foul language. Good guy, you have actually crossed over. In other words, the female ghost just now is real. Xia Wuji, who has always been big-hearted, has no objection to this kind of thing. After all, he has become a second-generation fairy with a wealthy family. It didn't take long for him to accept the truth. This is a world of immortals. 12 levels of cultivating immortals and practicing Qi. When the Qi practice is complete, he can build a foundation and fly with his sword. It is said that he can live to be 150 years old and become an immortal master admired by everyone. If you can hold the Yuan and become an elixir in your lifetime, you can step into the Golden Elixir Avenue, and from then on, establish a school to evangelize the world and ask for longevity. But what makes Xia Wuji a little bit painful is that although his parents are not high in cultivation, they are only in the Qi realm, but they are immortal cultivators anyway, and his son, who is 2 immortal cultivators, has no spiritual roots. Not even one of the worst waste spirit roots. You cannot cultivate immortals without spiritual roots. In the world of immortality, you cannot cultivate immortals, and you are doomed to be reduced to the bottom of society all your life. The world of immortals looks beautiful, not only can you practice the way of longevity, but it is said that the fairies flying around are all beautiful. But the world is actually very dangerous. There are immortals in this world, but there are also demons, ghosts, demons, and monsters. Ordinary people are very dangerous if they are not protected by immortals. Since you can't cultivate immortals, you should practice martial arts. Martial arts are different from immortality, only acquired and innate. The acquired realm is equivalent to the cultivation realm of cultivating immortals, while the innate realm is equivalent to the foundation-building realm of cultivating immortals. Acquired realm can be subdivided into Qi and blood realm, bone-quenching realm, visceral refining realm, and body realm. Each realm has 9 heavens. Only when the whole body state is complete, can there be such a chance to spy on the way of heaven and break through to the innate. As for the innate, it is a legend, and basically no one has set foot on it. Martial arts are difficult, you can see it here. Although you can live forever by practicing martial arts, and even though you can fly into the sky and enter the ground, at least you have the power to protect yourself in this mundane world, and you 1/T have the power to fight back when you face mountain monsters and ghosts. Unfortunately, his predecessor was also extremely poor in martial arts talent. Even Xia Wuji himself felt that after so many years, his parents had piled countless resources on a pig, and the pig should become a warrior or even step into the full body state. But he, who is 18 years old, has only reached the 3rd level of qi and blood. In other words, he is not even a pig. Xia Wuji took a long time to completely digest the things in his mind. He traveled to the world of immortal cultivation but couldn't cultivate immortality. Even practicing martial arts was half-hearted. He was so angry that he just wanted to scold people. After a moment of silence, Xia Wuji asked carefully, "System. System. System, Dad." There was silence in my mind. There is no system. Xia Wuji_'s heart sank. As a traverser, there is no system, so how can you get along? Ordinarily, even if he could not cultivate immortality, he would not worry about food and drink. In addition to the manor house with 3 entrances and 3 exits, there are also 20.6 facades in the most prosperous ferry street in Blue Moon City. It can be said that as an ordinary person, Xia Wuji would have a very good life. But the reality is not so simple. Xia Wuji knew very well in his heart that in this world of immortal cultivation where the weak eat the strong, not only would his life be difficult to guarantee, but these family properties would only become someone else_'s in the end. Even the beautiful little Chuyue at home will eventually belong to someone else. Xia Wuji frowned slightly, and said to himself, "My parents are both immortals, and the family is still in such a big trouble, so many ordinary people in Lanyu City are fine. This is too strange, but he has no clue about it at the moment. And the current situation made him a little anxious. This world is so dangerous, and there is no system, how can you get along? It's really impossible to just come with an old man with a ring. But his hands are empty, not to mention the ring, there is nothing, where is the old grandfather? Ha! Grandpa ring." He suddenly thought of the blood dragon jade that had been hanging around his neck before. The blood dragon jade has the effect of reviving the spirit and strengthening the blood. The jade had been worn by his father before, and was given to him when he started to practice martial arts when he was 10 years old. He has been wearing it since then and never took it off. But not on the neck now. Should have fallen into the tub. As a traveler, Xia Wuji is very clear, needless to say, this must be a treasure. And this kind of treasure generally needs blood to show its effect. Many transmigration seniors have already verified it. As long as the blood enters the jade pendant, then the golden finger or the old grandpa appears. These are old routines, he understands. Thinking of this, he rushed to the tub, and sure enough, there was a piece of blood jade emitting a faint red light under the water. Is half the size of a palm. I fished it out and wiped it with the towel on the towel rack next to it. I saw that the blood dragon jade was as bright as new, and there was a vivid blood dragon in it. Really good baby. Xia Wuji_'s face was filled with joy. At this moment, something in his chest seemed to wake up. In his palm, a vortex appeared, and the blood dragon jade was instantly sucked into it. The new book set sail, and the new ones are rolling around for recommendations. End of this chapter. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.